All right, we're partially working. Let me get our faces up now.
Heck yeah.
YouTube, just hold on for a minute. Not only did I forget to turn my light on, which I'm not going to turn on until the break, but I'm also having a slight technical difficulty where it's not letting me record anything.
I like the fact you're not recording it. You're telling YouTube something.
Well, that's a good point, but I could technically just export it from Twitch, right? So
yeah.
You thought you were getting spicy with me, but back in the day, you exported from Twitch and it would break the video down into 8 set. It would only let you export videos in 15-minute blocks, which meant a 2-hour video was sectioned into 8 parts.
I've forgotten how.
Oh my god! Yep.
I've forgotten how bad it was for like affiliates over like proper people.
It was. Wow, go fuck yourself. Proper people? I'm about to tell you who's a proper person.
Me.
Your face.
Thanks, man. I've been working on it for a while now.
All right. I think I'm good.
The older I get, the more face cream I use, dude. That's the secret.
Okay, so we are recording, and I have access to my backup drive where all my files and my Windows backup is stored. I just had to unplug and replug them in. I'll probably have to restart my computer tonight. That was a big shout. As per my discussion with James before the stream, the Winner's Edge swear jar is now in effect. If I complain about Winner's Edge, I have to put $1 into a jar and buy my cat something nice with that money once it's full.
And you hate that cat.
Listen, that's a complicated issue, okay?
So we can't talk about having to buy like winter shoes and all that sort of shit.
It's just that one particular show whose name I'm not going to mention because you're not going to trick me into doing it. Listen, if you want to talk about buying winter shoes in August, be my guest. I will point out that it's August, so I'm giving everyone permission to celebrate by opening up the best season of all, Pumpkin Spice season, which will be going from now until November 1st. God.
Sometimes I forget how much of a fucking white girl you are.
I like pumpkin spice. What can I say? Dave, what do you want from me? I also like shoujo manga and romance stories.
Yeah, man, you're a man of culture. I understand that, but pumpkin spice is where I draw the line.
I don't know what man of culture means anymore. I feel like it means different things to different people.
Basically, it's a catch-all where a person can say, you're a man of culture because they want to justify their own depravities, essentially. So
depravities? Jesus. Depravities, that's a sharp
I'm allowed
word.
To say that word because I deal in depravities. Like that's my bread and butter these days. So
yeah, that's a bold stance to take. All right, James, let's do your intro. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm still in panic mode with the fucking recording.
Hello, welcome back. I'm James. I think I mentioned on the BattleTech stream that this was going to be my 5th of 5 games in 4 days. It got even more interesting yesterday when I thought I was playing Call of Cthulhu, but I found out an hour before the game I was actually running my game of Scion. I missed up the calendar and I was actually supposed to be running, so
my goodness,
I had to pull together a game at short notice, but it went off okay. It was a good game. I'm very lucky to have a player who catalogs everything, who like writes everything down during the game and sends out like a 10-page document like within 5 minutes into the game of everything that happened in the game. So
I love when people do that.
Yeah, her notes are great, and they're all in character too. So makes it very easy to play a game session. Let's go back and work out what I've done. Also, because that campaign is now 8 years old, so it can be hard to remember sometimes what I've done in the past.
Is that like a recorded one, or that's just like a local one?
Home game. That's it. With my
man
real life friends.
I've played a lot of like tabletop role playing games over the years, but that's the one thing I can honestly say I've never been able to understand is like the local game running for centuries. You know what I mean? Like you've become different people over the course of the game. It's like I don't know. I don't even know how to quantify that, to be honest with you. So
the difficulty is though, like, I mean, this game or everything I've done with Arthur's channel so far has been very different for me because literally having a weekly regular game to come back to is something I haven't had since I was in high school. You know, like the game I ran yesterday, which has been running for 8 years. This is the third session we've run in 2020. Now, normally we get one in a month, but coronavirus has obviously screwed things up, and this group isn't as au fait with virtual. Like yesterday was literally the second virtual session we've ever done of any game with that group. They very much like to get together in person. So, and that's the thing. Even with like I had a 10-year Heresy campaign, which we ran it at best once a month, and sometimes had upwards of 5 or 6 month breaks. So it's so different to, I think about how, campaigns when I was in high school were all like, we did this for 5 months or this for 6 months, but we were literally playing like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, every single week when we were in high school. So it's...
all those sessions that go for like 12 hours, like
that's right.
Like
we play until the morning.
And yeah, all right. And then you like, all right, like you have like 3 meals while being in character with everyone, like I honestly, I'd love to experience that at some point, but at the same time, I'm so used to just being like, all right, 4 hours, sweet, all right, I'm going to bed.
But other than that, since like I was here on Thursday for BattleTech, not a lot's been going on. Just a quiet weekend, looking after kids, doing lots of role-playing games. I said to Arthur, I showed the kids Pirates of the Caribbean last night, which when I had about probably a half-hour conversation after the film, explained to my kids about, yes, pirates are real. Yes, there is a Caribbean. Yes, some of these things are based on real stuff. No, there are no skeletons, or like animated skeletons, I should say. No, there are no curses. No, there is no black magic. So that was an interesting conversation. Yeah.
First off, James Brown would disagree with you there. I believe he wrote a song called Black Magic Woman. Right? Am I wrong about that? I might have the wrong artist. Still, it was a top trending hit. Black Magic is real.
I want to say it's
what was
it's Carlos Santana.
Yeah,
really?
Santana, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was completely and totally wrong, but I knew that I could make a song reference on this show on the drop of a dime, even if I got the artist totally wrong and haven't listened to it in 15 years.
What was their favorite character out of that movie? I'm curious. Does it everyone lean to Johnny Depp? Like
Captain Barbossa.
So the issue is that they're at least familiar, because so the last film they watched a few weeks ago was The Goonies. Because like they are still
like the
on
new
the
one
fence.
Or the old one?
No, the original.
Okay.
So they're still on the fence about whether pirates are good guys or bad guys. And the first sort of half an hour of the film really cements in the fact that pirates are bad guys. Jack Sparrow is a bad guy, even though he's a funny guy. He's still, is stealing a ship and kidnapping a woman, and then the pirates attack the island. And so pirates are bad guys, and then they really struggle with who are we rooting for during this film? Like who are the good guys? But I think they had a good time anyway. But, my kids are 8, 6, and 4, so
they're really going to struggle with number 3 then.
Well, the other film I showed this weekend was the original, like 1987 Transformers the movie.
Wow!
Because they're right into modern Transformers, and I had to sort of work out how they deal with the death of Optimus Prime. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the film. It's only 33 years old.
I was gonna say probably half the audience wasn't born when that movie came out. So
wait, doesn't he die in the modern one as well?
I mean, he sacrifices himself in a bunch of the Transformers timelines.
Yeah, that's right. I stopped watching the modern ones after I think 2 or 3 films. So
I think I only watched the first one, to be honest with you.
I think there's a point where Hot Rod becomes Prime or something, and there's like Rodimus Prime.
That's in the original Transformers the movie. Yeah. The problem with my kids though is they're watching a movie, they keep asking questions, and it's like literally the scene has just changed. Like these 2 characters have just appeared on screen, and my son's saying, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "Wait 10 seconds, and you'll obviously find out." Stop interrupting the film to ask me questions. It'll be explained in moments. So
you should pause the movie every time, pull up the Wikipedia entry, and then read it to them. And then unpause the movie.
Does anybody here use Amazon Video, like Amazon Prime Video?
Yes.
Is
Sometimes.
HBO Amazon? Because I use the HBO one, or is that different?
I don't know if it's the same in other places, but here when I use Amazon Prime, anytime I pause the video, the pause overlay includes information about the actors currently on screen in this scene, even if it's only like really like minor characters in the background. It'll pop up with like their press photograph and their name and their a few details about this person who's this background character walking past. I find it quite amusing. Like someone's gone through every single film and catalogued who every single person is.
But they also
even the extras.
Yes, they also continuity error some stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, the Amazon Prime extra commentary is very good.
Huh? I almost want to just use that just for that.
I don't know if you've watched the new Transformers, James.
What do you mean the War for Cybertron that just started a few days ago?
Yeah,
my kids are watching it this morning. I sort of walked in on them watching it this morning.
So there's a scene where a guy's like, "I want to be paid. It's my contract. I was just supposed to find the thing." And Optimus Prime is like, "We fight for freedom." And the guy's like, "Look, I don't care about your freedom. I want my contractual obligation." And he's like, "We'll discuss this back at base." And I'm thinking that there needs to be a sign that's just like, "Freedom for contractual obligations."
It sounds like my last attempt at running Age of Rebellion. Yeah, the Star Wars, the Rebel Alliance one.
Yeah.
When all the
pay
players,
yeah,
they pretty much thought they were playing Edge of the Empire, because every time a mission came up from the Rebels, like, well, how much are you going to pay us? Like, you're Rebel soldiers. It's you get a stipend, yeah, but how much for this mission? So
should have played Mercenaries.
You get one section of Reddit credits, and you get to eat lunch when you come back.
Yeah, we need to go steal the ship. We'll give us money. We'll go buy the ship.
What's the Mon Calamari currency? Anyway, Republic credits are no good here.
That's it.
Even though it's the largest, most stable currency in the entire galaxy, for some reason we don't use it.
That's all I got. I've monopolized the stream too long.
Dave, what do you got? Nothing big happened to you recently, right? No big releases, no turning points in your life.
Yeah, I sold my first adult game on Steam. You can go buy it right now. And it has been extremely overwhelming, I will say.
Listen, I have to stop you, because someone on the Cyberpunk 2020 plus video said, "Is there a reason Dave isn't mentioning the name? Like, is it prohibited or something?" I was like, no, I'm not stopping him. There's no YouTube rules against it. You can mention the name if you want to, Dave. People might be interested.
I'm just being courteous.
Very well. I appreciate
because this isn't like a space, like, this isn't my thing. Like, I don't mind talking about the stuff that I go through, but like, I'll say it here now because people are asking for it. The game is called Pieces of My Heart. It is a jigsaw dating sim. Jigsaw game with dating sim elements. So there's not a lot of dating sim in there, but we are going to be adding a bunch more to it. It is very pornographic. So if it's your type of thing, then go for it. But what I will say is that the game has released. We made back our development costs like 4 times over within the first 48 hours, which is incredible. And people really, really enjoy the game. I actually had a review today. The third negative review we've gotten. He's like, "Yeah, I don't like jigsaw games." And I'm like, so you buy a jigsaw game, you play it, and you're like, "Man, I forgot I hate jigsaw games." I don't. Some people are just absolutely crazy, but we get it. Like, the community is just absolutely exceptional. Like, so many people have come in and just sort of expressed how much they love the product and all this stuff. And I don't know, it's been very a very good experience, I will say that much. But we got a long road ahead of us. We're planning to finally finish the game in December, like have everything in there, have all the bugs done, have all the content in there, and then post December we're looking at doing maybe 3 more months of post-release content for the game. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. But so far, really, really happy with the results. So, yeah, it's
I got
definitely
2 words for you, Dave. Loot
what's that?
boxes. Can you put loot boxes in?
I'll do you one better. I'll put loot boxes in there. How about that?
Oh, I wanted to
Yeah.
vomit in my mouth right now. Just.
Nah, I mean the game is quite lightweight. It's not a a big product by any stretch of the word. It's a $10 game right now. We are looking at potentially making it $15 at the end of the early access, but that's not until December. So we got a lot of content to add until then. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been humbled by how much people like the product, and it basically gives me really good basically it confirms my suspicions that I know how to make video games, which is really good a good suspicion to confirm. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been focusing on, mostly just around that, and yeah, be good to get back to playing some role-playing games because we haven't been able to do Cyberpunk, and won't be able to do Cyberpunk for a couple of weeks, right?
Maybe
So,
next week, and maybe even an extra week.
Yeah,
I hope so.
So I mean, it is what it is. But...
I'm glad that you're a fan, Pondo. It's a little unusual for me to have cast members who are also viewers. So, and now I've got James. I was gonna mention you as well. I know. Calm down. Gonna say now I've got 2 of them. But James
now I feel bad. I'm the only one here that doesn't actively watch your stuff.
Oh, don't worry. I fucking hate my show. I cannot watch it. I can't watch it.
You have a problem listening to your own voice?
Well, yeah, that, and I'm always like, I really could have done a much better job of this show. I'm like, this episode, what fucking garbage. What was I thinking? Or I watch my own intros and I'm like, am I an oversharer? I feel like I'm oversharing my massive depression and my growing paranoia and inability to remember things. Is that oversharing? Am I leaving like a video log for when someone finds me one day and I'm just gonna be like, I can't remember anything. Who am I?
I like the fact, Arthur, that you're overly critical about how overcritical you are.
I agree.
Yeah.
Someone told me yesterday, what was it they said? You're a bad APGamingREAL fan. You hate everything he puts out, and I was like, oh, that's so true. Oh no.
I mean, if you're not your own worst critic, then there's something wrong with the content you're putting out. Like if you can actively look at the content you make and go, yeah, it's fucking perfect, no flaws whatsoever, then I don't know.
No, I disagree. Listen, The Rock has said that every movie that he's ever put out has been a AAA Hollywood absolute classic, and that's a man who worked on Baywatch. So you got to believe there's a lot of confidence there.
I think he forgets about the Doom movie. All right.
I liked the Doom movie. It was good. It was a good attempt.
Have you tried referring to yourself in the third person? To build confidence.
Wow. Refer to myself in the third person. I don't know that that's going to build confidence. I think that might build disassociation from myself. I can't even begin to say it. Arthur doesn't agree with that. Ooh, it's so weird. Ooh.
Maybe just use the royal we then.
Listen, I do that from time to time. The royal we is such an immense amount of arrogance. I like dropping that. Good stuff. Dave, you got anything else?
Today was the anniversary of the Polish Uprising in Warsaw here.
I was going to say, which one?
Yeah, so basically it's the day. So I don't know if you know this, but basically what happens here in Warsaw is the exact moment like because they had like some underground planning when the uprising was happening, when they said, okay, 5 p.m. today, August 1st, where everyone's just going to start shooting Nazis. And on 5 p.m. every August 1st, the entire city stops, like for a whole minute. That means if you're driving a car, if you're flipping a burger, whatever, you just fucking stop and you just wait for a minute. Like everything stops. It goes perfectly quiet. And what they do in the actual city is they set off like hundreds and hundreds of flares just all over the city. So the entire city basically just gets covered in just like smoke, and it's insane. Like you should look up some of the maybe go onto YouTube and look up a couple of videos about it, because it's nutters what they do. And that's what we did today. We went and checked that out, and that was pretty cool. It was we had to stay a little further back because, you know, Corona and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to say.
Okay. Fondo, what you got going on?
Nothing much. I haven't done much since Thursday. I've still been playing Valkyria Chronicles 4. I'm on chapter 3 now.
Chapter 3? You mean 13?
Chapter 13. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a big confusing pain in the ass. I hadn't finished it yet. And then I've been doing a couple of the extra story missions that's DLC. And I got through the beach episode, which was as cringy as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Mm-hmm. Did you unlock all the swimsuits?
Out of spite, because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, out of spite. Out of spite. What a motherfucker. Don't you could lie to yourself, but don't lie to us.
I'm not.
Listen, my guy going dead ass. The whole DLC was an arrow leading to that moment, and I was like, this was worth it just to watch him lose his fucking shit.
Yeah.
There was no better out of spite bathing suit unlock scenes I've ever seen other than Metal Gear Solid 3. Like
that's true.
Like just fucking out of spite, yeah, getting this fucking bathing suit, because for Big Boss, yeah, absolutely, fuck that shit. Like,
yeah, Demon Nerves was a pain in the ass. Just like, all right, here's 2 Gatling gun in places right in the area you need to go, and then there's a tank at the end and a sniper. Good luck.
That's true. I mean, I just got in there with my boy Laurent and Gertrude, and just if you have 2 Lancers next to each other, they fire together. Yeah. And since Gertrude gets a chance to instantly kill a tank anytime she shoots. With her and Lauren shooting together, sometimes it's just like incredible, exploding. Everyone dies everywhere. Elaine comes behind them and tops them up on ammo, and that's it.
Yeah, no,
I guess you passed me now, because I think I stopped on chapter 12.
Yeah, chapter 12 was relatively easy.
Well, I mean, at the very least, the difficulty level of missions is getting harder and more varied, right? You can no longer just run forward with a scout and just instantly win a mission. Shit gets tougher.
It might take 2 turns typically. 13 is more of a puzzle than I'd say difficulty. It's you'll see if you ever get to it.
Yeah, it is a puzzle. That's what the whole game is.
Yeah. And
the puzzle can no longer be solved by a single scout. Minerva.
The issue is getting to like the point where it's like, okay, I could probably finish this mission in one turn, and then if you figure out you can't do it in one turn, you're like, well, fuck.
Look at you trying to one-turn mission. What's wrong with you, boy?
That's what happens to the beach episodes. I was like, all right, I can do this in
one
turn.
All right, well, okay. The beach episode is a different beast entirely.
Yeah, and then it's like, you got to kill these aces to get all the episodes, to get done with this story. I'm like, fuck.
It was really tough finding all of them.
it was a pain in the ass.
Some of them were just like hiding in the lower right hand corner behind, like in a loop. Some guy named like the reporter.
Yeah, and then there's some loops that you actually were just like jokes, as in there's nothing there, and you're like, well, fuck, I wasted that action there.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Don't worry. Listen, I want you to imagine a swimsuit DLC designed by someone who wants to punish you for downloading it.
Yeah, that sounds like the industry I'm in. To be honest with you.
It's
The constant need of like validation from the people who purchase a game, but the desire to punish them for buying your shit.
I can tell they're almost certainly a tabletop game master, for sure.
Good.
I mean, you could probably hack something up to make a Valkyria Chronicles thing. So.
Oh
Please-
yeah, no,
please
absolutely.
don't.
I love the idea of like the turn-based movements, but the real-time aiming. Like that shit is just that is a perfect mixture of mechanics. Like it's just an absolute shame that there's so much like fucking fluff in that game. God damn.
Yeah, it's like
Valkyria Chronicles 3 was fucking perfect. Oh no, sorry, Valkyria Chronicles 1. Just it was perfect. It was the right amount of just fluff. But the later games, whew, boy.
Yeah, 4 is
thank you.
a lot of fluff. I'm enjoying it, but
Oh, yeah.
it's just it's a lot of sitting there like,
Like I'm the type of player where I'm like,
Riley!
okay. I
They
mean,
really
I'm
like
the type of
shouting your
player
name.
that'll be like, I don't want to skip the content, like the story, but at the same time, I just want to get to the parts that I'm interested in playing. So I can never win with that game, and so I stopped playing it. Oh well,
It's rough.
it's rough.
You got anything else, Pondo?
no, that's it for me. Yeah, it's been a relatively slow week.
I'll say for my intro, I am currently in a trolling shit fit argument with what my previous favorite BattleTech author, and he seems to be unhappy with some of my critical commentary of his works. Not great.
It's not Michael Stackpole.
No, it's Blaine Pardoe. He went on to praise several Confederate generals and then say, I just don't want anyone to think I'm a closeted Confederate. I was like, don't worry. No one thinks you're in the closet, buddy. The man wrote an entire book about Stonewall Jackson in the MechWarrior universe. It's... I don't... James, what are we doing?
All right. So
Yeah.
first off, Dave, you need to join Roll22 while I kick off some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna make us roll immediately? We're that close to dying?
No.
All right.
No, just
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's do it.
You're always that close to dying. I need to issue a quick correction or retraction from last week as well. So, for your notes, Arthur, I think I referred to the Eldar group as the Conclave of Thorns. It should be the Conclave of Tears. Children of Thorns are a different group altogether.
Eldar Exarch, the Young King, Kaelor. I don't see anything about Children of the Sorrow of Aisha. I don't have that in my notes.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, the Farsi referred to being part of a group that included also Harlequins as well, called the Conclave of Tears.
Yes.
So.
Oh, I have Covenant of Thorns. Yes.
Covenant of Thorns. So it should be Conclave of Tears.
Conclave of Tears. I'll change it now. Corsairs,
Oh, that's-
Drukhari, Harlequins, and himself.
Sounds much better than Covenant of Thorns.
Only because there is a Children of Thorns in the setting as well. I don't want to confuse.
Well,
things
it's
up.
probably for all that Aisha stuff. They're probably like, oh no, she's captured by Nurgle and she's crying all the time.
Yep, that's what the Spirit Stones are. Spirit Stones are Aisha's tears.
Yep.
There you go. All right, so last time on, and I know that Arthur will do a better recap in character, but last time on Rogue Trader, the Last Scion, we see the group discover a garden of crystalline trees within the abandoned Eldari station. We watch as they meet with a Eldar Far, or the projection of an Eldar Farseer. We see Inquisitor Shrain tell Nero that he needs to hunt and kill a Deathwatch Marine somewhere in the Hand of Calixis. Nero and an armsman are ambushed by the Marine. We see the armsman die almost straight away before Nero detonates a crack grenade, plunging them both through the floor. And then finally, Pierre Cowles in a void suit giving armsman an order to fire on the Space Marine on the outside of the Hand of Calixis. Thought for the day: a mind without purpose will wander in dark places. So, I believe that the all manner of business has been done in the Solitude system, and unless I've misunderstood, I believe that the plan now is to make way to Outpost 31 in the Bastion system to check on that particular place. Yes, does that sound correct?
I mean, it's the
That
Lord
sounds
Captain's
correct.
ship. Yeah, the other one driving.
No one else recalls differently?
Nope, that was my plan.
Listen, my plan is to get whatever those arm things that I need in order to shoot people at close range.
We'll get there as soon as we're in a place where the warp shit's not all fucked.
So, I mean, before you plan to leave, Riani asked for a gathering a lot. So her and the Cardo Artifacts basically just want to have a chance to catch up with the senior crew and go over charts to plot out the journey. So they call for that in the map chamber, basically.
Nero arrives last, and he's going through a dark emo phase. He's wearing a t-shirt that says, "I survived an ambush by a Deathwatch Space Marine."
Do you have like
Very
a printing
specific.
press of shirt?
Yeah, there's a printing
like-
press on board. It's a ship of 30,000 people. That's like 6 aircraft carriers.
The problem is that they have a minimum order quantity of 100 units, though. So you've got lots of.
Well, damn, that's very, very
That's rough.
small.
Guess I know what's going in the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade. 80 pristine t-shirts, never been used. Yeah, Nero shows up. He looks highly depressed, kind of like he didn't shave this morning, and his mug has been switched. Instead of saying the Emperor is my co-pilot, it now says the God Emperor is my co-pilot.
Is he just like written
yeah.
God in with Sharpie, or has he got a new?
No,
mug produced?
that would be sacrilegious. No. He destroyed all of the old ones and took the bumper sticker off the back of his bridge chair and got them to print out God Emperor versions of all.
Now, what are we going to do with the other 100 bumper stickers and cups and
But
torch
listen,
them? Throw them in the fire.
we have plenty of macro
into
batteries.
space.
You know, we put them on the back of every macro battery.
So as Nero comes in, Riani looks up with genuine concern. Nero, are you all right? I haven't seen you since I heard about the thing with the Marine. Are you okay?
Nero sips some sort of dark liquid from his cup and goes, "Yep."
She looks unconvinced, but the Cardo Artifacts. So this is Rosen lays out his maps and sort of puts puts a weight on the table where the ship basically is. Actually, what I'll do is, for the benefit of the people that are in the game, is I'll move you over to the map screen so you can see the map.
That'd be
Incredible.
nice.
Yep.
I
So
can use my dark powers so that the audience knows what's going on.
So, we are roughly here in Winterscale's realm, and Outpost 31 is just down here in the Foundling Worlds.
Okay, it looks like
So-
we have to go through that, which doesn't look nice.
Look, that's just it's not as big as these stellar phenomena aren't necessary to scale. That's not the problem to cross through. This thing here, the God Emperor's Scythe or
Scourge.
Scourge, sorry, that is hard to cross. So really,
Okay.
this passageway between the Void Dancers Royal and the God Emperor's Scourge is really the way into the Foundling Worlds. With that being said, I wanted to call out that we are passing quite close to Footfall. So if there was anything that you wanted to stop at a major system for, that could be planned. Otherwise, we can just make our way straight to to Outpost 31.
Out of curiosity, James, how long has Sister Dawn been on the ship now? In time,
Like a month.
like in like her.
Probably close to a month, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought like the trip was like 2 days.
No,
No, it felt like a month to us, but it was like actually 2 days of travel time we actually ended up doing.
That's what I mean,
Because
like relative time to us being
Yeah.
on the ship. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
warp mess. Okay. We
So under
arrived.
normal circumstances, the journey from, if you were to go straight to Outpost 31, you're looking at about a 2-week journey.
I think we could stop at Footfall to try to go ahead and see if we can get some stuff there, because it is a major city, so it'd be possibly easier to get faster.
Right.
That would be my guess.
The only risk it creates is it's 2 separate warp jumps, so 2 separate navigations.
What could go wrong with some dice rolling?
Wow.
Yeah, let's go
Can't
ahead.
believe
No one
you-
ever died with some
Can't
dice
believe
rolling.
you said that.
Let's do
I
it.
got to ask Arthur, when I was setting up the game last night, I noticed that there were like all these little map like directions have been peeled off to the side. I just saw you moving that one off. Like you don't delete them, you just leave them at the side.
I can't delete them. Only you
Oh,
can
you can't.
delete
Okay,
them.
nice. That must be why I deleted like 5 or 6 different.
You can actually, you can like right click wipe all drawings on a map as a game master.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. No worries.
You're like that ferret that smushes all of his toys inside of the treadmill. You know.
Don't know what you're talking about, but that's pretty funny.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. There was a ferret that kept hiding all of his fucking toys in the treadmill, and they had a guy come over like, my treadmill's not working anymore. They opened it up, just sprung up all these fucking stuffed toys. Yeah, I'll try to find it for you.
Like I had a friend who had a ferret that used to hide mobile phones. So
So
That's awful.
Nero leaves the meeting and he puts his mug down in some like communal, like the officers' country area, and then just starts jogging through the ship down to the gun decks, which I realize is going to take hours, but that's Nero.
Yeah, post it in chat. There we go.
all right, it's fine. Navigating the warp. All right, so we have the duration determined. So we need to find the Astronomicon. So,
Oh, there it is. Found it.
so who's gonna be the navigation roller for today?
I'll do it. Why
No,
not?
there's 3 rolls that we need to make.
There's 3 rolls. That's right. Yep. So Potter will do the first one. Okay. So the first one is a +10 awareness test. You can tell her to do better, and also you get to add the ship's detection.
Yeah.
That's
I'd love to tell her to do better.
Yep. All right.
Okay, so ship's detection is 25, so 20, so it'd be plus 35.
Yeah. So she's a base of 30, so 65.
Don't fuck it up.
65. Hey.
Okay, that's it. So degree of success. Okay, so 1 degree of success. So that will reduce the duration by down to 3/4 of the original time. Okay, now charting the course is someone needs to make a ordinary, so +10 warp navigation test. So this is against a 50 if Pierre's telling her to do better. So who wants to roll the charting the course roll?
Okay. What stats does it use?
It doesn't use your stats. It's a crew member stats. So it's just when someone's rolling under 50. That's it.
Okay, I'll just roll a D100.
No worries.
Oh.
Crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
Crushed it. Wow. Okay. Nicely done. And then lastly, Arthur, you can roll for steering the vessel. So this is a navigation warp test modified by the perception of the Astronomicon. So you get +10 for the degree of success on that, +10 for Pierre telling you to do it better. So this is once again, this is a 50. And this is the one where you don't roll a 9 on either dice.
So
I
Arthur,
have
if
a
your intelligence,
recollection that I also rolled this one last time and got a 99.
Yes.
if your intelligence is low enough, Arthur, you can actually drive us into the sun.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
as an option, but that's just from the dialogue tree.
So my skill value is 50?
50 total. So it's 30 base plus 10 for the how bright the Astronomicon is, plus 10 for Pierre saying do it better.
And no modifier. So 50, no modifier.
That's it.
Okay. Minus 3.1 degrees of success, but no nines.
Well, no.
That's it. So it just adds a bit of extra time. That's fine.
Okay.
So since you're doing this part, could you please roll me 2 D100 and we can pick which warp phenomena you experience in travel.
So what is it that the
rich and buff
9s on either side do?
So 8 and 41, although I'm going to bet that the 41's probably better.
9s on the other side mean you don't end up where you were planning to go.
Oh, that's right.
That's how we encountered the Eternal Praetorium.
Yeah. Okay, so 41 and 8 were your options?
Yep.
So that means you can either have a Plague of Madness or visitation.
I like that one.
Or visitations.
Last time we had visitations, we lost the entire primary gunnery deck crew. But I'm still going to say that's better than fucking Plague of Madness.
Yeah, I'm going to go with visitations because, Plague of Madness does not sound great.
Okay, no worries.
You don't like that music? Come on, guys.
It does sound a bit like a 90s goth band.
One day we'll roll double ones and then we'll have a visit with Demon Prince.
I know, so the incursion is 10 to 18. Yeah, incursion's 10 to 18. So, all right. So, while you're in transit, Dawn.
Hello.
So this is, I'll call out to you now. This is actually, I won't say this. So you, with no recollection of how you got here, find yourself standing in what looks like some sort of prison cell. So it's three walls are concrete floor, concrete roof, but bars along one side, but those bars are like made of some sort of obsidian metal and have like jagged spikes coming from them as well. So not only could you not sort of force your way through them, but they would cut and catch anybody that tried to squeeze through. Yeah, but the gaps are too small anyway. There is another figure in the room with you as well.
What type of clothing am I wearing?
You're pretty much wearing what you would wear to bed. So whether that is like, a shift or a robe or whatever the case may be. But the one thing, when you sort of examine yourself, you do notice that you're missing all of your scars. So your hands are clean and unburnt. Anywhere that even if you come closer, even minor scars you might have acquired in time from just cutting yourself on passing a bit of metal, those scars have all seemed to have been removed as well.
That's not something she would be very happy to see, I will say.
Yeah.
So
the other occupant of the room is a man. He is kneeling on the ground. He's wearing effectively tattered robes, or tattered like a tattered tunic and pants. He is his hands are chained behind his back. His feet are manacled together and then manacled to the wall, and he has a blindfold over his face. And he's got he looks like he has been in the war. So the flesh you can see is, although he's quite pale, he's got lots of healed wounds, so lots of scars, cuts. He's got burns as well. You can see on his hands have been burned in the past, as is most of his arms. It's all healed, but it looks like this is someone who's lived a lifetime of struggle and warfare, basically. You also notice tattoos around his shoulders and chest, where you can see through the tunic, that appear to follow the same sort of runic symbols that you saw among the Eldar. He's got long, sort of sandy brown hair, and when you first sort of are aware of yourself in this place, he looks up as though he's acknowledged your presence, even though he can't see you. Like it's more sort of like, you know, it's like he's heard you arrive, and so he's looked up in your direction. In the
This
distance,
must
you can
be
hear.
some sort of. Okay, go on. Sorry.
So I was going to say, audible here. You can hear this distant sounds of screams and pretty much torture. There is just lots of sounds of people screaming in the distance in absolute pain and agony.
This must be some sort of punishment. I'm not sure what I did wrong.
He responds to your words, and he turns in your exact direction, although he's still blindfolded. I managed to reach you. Please tell me your name. I don't know who you are.
Hang on. My name is Sister Confessor Dawn of the Cleansing Flame.
Oh, you're human.
Is that a problem?
I didn't expect a human to shine so brightly. Tell me, Sister Dawn, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where are you? What is going on around this place?
Well, if you have brought me here, I should be sleeping comfortably upon the Hand of Calixis. It is a rogue trader vessel. As for who I am, I'm simply a humble servant of the God Emperor.
Oh, I apologize. I am Talon Balewing, Exarch of the Kalor Craft World, or at least I was. I sensed a beacon in the warp recently, or in the Sea of Souls, and I thought it may have been another of my kind. There are a few that are so intense. I've tried to reach out to you. It surprises me that you're human, but I am not displeased for the company in any case. I'm sorry if you feel that you've been brought here against your will. That was not my intent.
How hurt are you? She'll say as she sort of kneels down next to him a little bit. Is there something I can help ease your pain with? Maybe, perhaps.
Maybe simply remove the blindfold so that I can see.
Okay, she'll reach over, trying to be aware of his wounds without causing too much distress or pain to them.
Yep.
And
he's got no open wounds. Other than the fact he looks malnourished, he has no open wounds. These are all sort of healed scars from previous conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some of them are fresher than others. Like, he's still got things that have been. There's probably still stitches in some places where cuts have been stitched clean.
What about around his manacles or anything like that that are holding?
Yeah, probably that's probably. Although he doesn't look like he struggled much. There isn't a lot of indication of ligature that would indicate he's tried to fight against his bonds. And despite being malnourished, he's still well muscled as well. Like he is okay. Like I'd say if you were to consider like a male dancer, for example, or like he's not bulky. Yeah, he's lithe, but he's still like muscle. But he's wiry and muscly.
So Sister Dawn, after removing his blindfold, will then rip a part of her sleeping gown and put it in between the manacle and the skin of his ligament of his limbs, and just try and sort of make it more comfortable.
Okay, you find first off that it's difficult. That the blindfold seems to have extra weight to it. It's all like you're struggling, but you do manage to remove it, but it feels like to you it's made of lead rather than of cloth. And even then, anytime you try to sort of when you try to move his leg to place the bandage in, it's difficult until he sort of specifically moves to help as such. Like it's almost like interacting with anything here is a strain for you. But yeah, you still managed to place the cloth there, and you can tell now you move his when you move his blindfold, you can see that his ears are pointed. You can assume this is an Eldar as well. Although he is speaking to you in accented but very good Low Gothic.
Okay.
Although, let me see, are you higher in Low Gothic or High Gothic? Probably
Both.
the same in both, I'm guessing.
Oh, let me see which one I'm better at in.
You're 50 in both. So I guess it's like, what would Dawn consider her primary language? Like, you probably would have grown up in an environment, like an academic environment where High Gothic might be more common, but even then, I don't know how much like priests spoke Latin to each other. They probably still spoke in their native tongue and just used Latin for illumination.
I've been probably speaking in the last month or two a lot more in Low Gothic, probably even further than that if I was traveling on that other ship.
Okay, so I'd say that yeah, he's speaking in Low Gothic then. Yeah, so and he gives you like a smile when you take off the bandage that it probably looks more warm than it actually is. Like there's probably it seems like a forced smile. But he does seem pleased, and he smiles and sort of sits back on his haunches as he's there. Thank you. You're most kind. I've not dealt with your kind much in the past. I didn't know what to expect.
Well, the God Emperor does look unfavorably on your types, but if I have been taught anything in the Order is that most people and most beings should have a chance at redemption, whether that is through the eyes of the God Emperor or through whatever it is that they believe in.
You hear footsteps in the corridor outside, like people clearly coming this way, and he looks sort of concerned and says, "This is, you should go." And at that point, you snap awake in your own bed in the Hand of Calixis.
Is there any indication that this was more than just like a weird memory or anything like that?
Yeah, well, yeah. So your shift is torn, where you tore off the strip.
What was the gentleman's name?
Talon Balewing.
Talon Balewing. I put Barkwing down. Balewing, huh? Okay.
Wing, yeah. I'll put it into the.
I didn't know Eldari had such anime names. Talon Balewing sounds like he's the main character.
So exarchs tend to replace their name with something which is like, you know, like molten claw, or they tend to have.
Oh, for the Phoenix King, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm trying to compose what his theme song would sound like right now.
Probably hair metal. Has there been, like, let me ask you this. Sister Dawn probably hasn't had a lot of interactions with aliens or anything like that. I mean, outside the last couple of weeks, I suppose. She's been very much thrust into this, but is there any indication of like where her religion would tell her to think about an interaction like that?
I mean, the aliens are inherently, I mean, they are unclean, so to speak. You know, they are, they have no redeeming features. They can't accept the God Emperor's love, nor does he give it to them. So it's pretty much all manners of racism is built into the Imperial Creed. So humans are the only sort of, you know, true elevated species, and everything else is just.
I mean specifically around the idea that she had some sort of weird night teleportation interaction.
There's probably not a lot of that really covered in the texts. It's probably would make you at this point feel quite uncomfortable, I'd say, though, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's still something that he did that you had sort of no defense against. You know, it didn't seem that you were threatened in that way, but still, it an alien mind has somehow touched your mind.
And is her scars still there?
Yeah, everything about you is as you'd expect it, with the exception that your shift is still torn.
Okay, so she'll like maybe rub her hands together and do some prayers for like a couple of hours to see if she can, I don't know, remove the taint.
Yep. Is this an incident you discussed with anybody else?
No, I don't think so. If anything, this might be just like she maybe chalks this up as a repercussion of just seeing unsightly things that she has in the past couple of weeks, and she will ignore what she needs to ignore in order to keep her faith pure. So,
okay. Probably about halfway through the journey, Pierre and probably all three of you, I'd say, get a request from the Inquisitor to go and visit him in his chambers.
Did you say all three of us, or just
yeah, all three of you? Yeah.
Two? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nero shows up. He's wearing a t-shirt that has, wow, come on, Pando, you can't even keep a straight face. He's wearing a t-shirt that has Pierre Cowles in a sort of angelic, like he's raising his hands up towards the sky. He has wings made of white raven feather coming out of him, and his mom is an even larger angelic figure putting her hands on his shoulders. And the back of the shirt says, "The Lord Captain is my captain."
I was fully expecting something as like used to be as good as a Space Marine, but ended up being less.
Wow.
How far along do we have to go until we get like the anime face entire shirt and pants ensemble, but with Lord Captain's face in different poses and stuff?
He's still got his mug filled with ambiguous dark liquid that he's sipping from, and he just is like, "What's up?"
So when are we going to do this sparring session that you wanted to do?
All right, do that sometime. Slurp
Are you okay?
I was just like, well, I'm alive. Survived again.
I wasn't asking for your status. I was asking for your mental thoughts on how you're doing.
Slurps.
He didn't get the final hits, and now he's upset.
It's not that, Lord Captain. Deeper problem.
Then explain.
I'd rather go over my new security plan, but we probably shouldn't keep the Inquisitor
The
waiting.
door opens. The Inquisitor's there. Oh, I thought I heard voices in the hall. Please, all of you, come in.
Hello.
Wow, you're getting spam in chat.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot lately, right around this time of night. I think they just go to every active Twitch.
Okay, no worries. He looks paler than before. he sort of, if you imagine a very pale person having seen a ghost, that's what you sort of get. He is clearly sort of a bit uncomfortable, a bit sweaty. He sort of brings you in and sits you down. He's a bit restless.
So Nero says really unconvincingly, he just goes, "You look terrible, Inquisitor. Something bad happened?"
Not something bad. I have been visited by someone long dead, but whom I trust. I'm certain that it was a warning, not a falsity perpetrated by the warp. I need to ask your permission, Captain Cowles. I would like to depart when we reach Footfall and take another vessel directly to Regina 4 while you go about your business in the Foundling Worlds. I would like to have a chance. I know that I was prepared to wait to till we got there, but I think the time is coming where I need to examine what lies beneath that ship sooner rather than later.
What was your vision, may I ask?
My master, the Inquisitor that trained me. He led me to believe through riddles, as was his way in life as well, that there is a convergence coming, multiple forces of raid, and that we need to be prepared for it. And this whole thing on Regina 4 could quickly throw everything off the rails. I need to know more so I know what I need to do before the Necrons arrive, if anything.
I have an off-topic question for you, if you don't mind me asking. Can you elaborate as to what this visitation felt like?
Well, it was simply I saw a person that I know to be dead appear before me, and
were you asleep, awake, or like?
No, I was just enjoying an aperitif, and he appeared before me.
Okay.
The warp.
She has like this weird look on her face when she says it. It's like, no, that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, the warp sometimes or often lies, but I feel this time that it's a warning which should be heeded.
Another question, just completely unrelated to your experience. Is there further experiences that could be similar but more involved with, say, like a waking nightmare or anything like that?
To be honest, all manner of things are possible within the warp, but this is probably a question you could ask more of your navigator or one of your astropaths. They would have better experience with the machinations of the warp. All I know is that the warp is pure unreality, and what it's capable of is not recordable, not definable.
Okay, thank you.
Lord Captain?
Well, if you believe that there's something to be considered, then we need to go there right away. I think we can change our course after a brief stop at Footfall. What I need to have done for the colony, I can do from somewhere else, such, well, as Footfall.
Only if you're sure. I don't want to inconvenience you. You've already been a significant help.
Well, I need to see if I can convince the dealing, see if I can get more out of the Necrons as far as more patterns. They seem to be holding out on us until I actually move my colony. My plan is to just try to convince them, saying that the colony does not matter if you send more of the patterns.
So you mean you'd propose to sacrifice the colony then? At least that's what you would tell them.
Yes.
Well, let's see if we get a response by the time we reach Footfall from the messages you were looking to send.
Very well. I'll be sure to recharter our course to Regina 4.
I have a matter that concerns everyone here.
Is it about your shirts?
No. Wait, what's wrong with my shirts?
Nothing. No reason. Please continue.
Nero just kind of stares for an uncomfortably long amount of time until it gets really awkward, and then he goes, "It regards the security of this vessel and the safety of the Inquisitor. I think it's clear that there's something about these Archangels that they don't want other people to know about. We know that specific members of our crew that had been involved in the discovery of the Dark Angel conspiracy were targeted, which includes us and the Inquisitor, but not Sister Dawn. although I believe now she would be a target. I think that the members of the crew that are such a target need to be informed to shut the fuck up for all time and never speak of it again, and that the entire ship's general orders should be changed to include orders for crewmen on leave to immediately retreat from any Dark Angels that they find, to return to the ship immediately and report such encounters.
Why is it that you think I will be targeted?
Well, you know about the Dark Angels' heresy now.
I suppose that is a good reason.
That's why they targeted us. That's why you targeted me.
What's proof do you have on these matters?
That was his MO. That was Ananias's MO. He specifically attempted to assassinate victims who were present at the dig site. Do you require more proof, Lord Captain? I apologize for having left him in a position where you could easily murder him. It's just, you know, perhaps we could use some dark warp ritual to bring him back and demand answers from him. But I think it's pretty clear based on his actions. I'm not as wise and foreseeing as everyone else here, but it seems pretty blunt and straightforward that he was intending to kill very specific groups of people, to which we are all now a membership of. I believe that those members of the crew should be protected, and that this vessel itself and all of its serving crewmen may be targeted by the Dark Angels in the future.
Once we reach Footfall, we should be joined by Brother Vitrian. I might see if he has any information about whether Ananias communicated back to his chapter. We need to know whether or not this concern the Dark Angels have died with Ananias, or whether it is further reaching.
Yes, I'm just trying to see if there's any sort of written proof as to his intentions.
Yeah, Nero just goes, great. Can't wait to have the whole Dark Angels chapter and all their successors. Love fighting Space Marines.
Just curious. Have this is completely unrelated to the very important topic of Space Marines, but does anyone happen to know anything about an Eldar called Talon Balewing?
Nope.
Ring a bell at
Interesting
all?
name.
Anyone here?
Why bring the name up? You've been
Just
kind of suspicious at the moment.
it is no matter. If you do not know who he is, it's fine. Don't
Are
worry
you
about
sure?
it.
Didn't Farseer Serenin specifically say that he thought you'd be contacted by an individual called the Young King, an Eldar Exarch that they specifically wanted to hear more about and who will lead them in the coming apocalypse? And then he takes another loud slurp.
That was said,
Not that I
yes.
was literally taking notes during that scene in character or anything.
So Dawn will just sort of. What about you, Inquisitor? Does the name ring a bell?
No, it doesn't. But then again, as I said before, I'm not an Eldar expert. There are others in my order that are. I'm happy to send a message when we reach Footfall to see what they know.
Fantastic. Yeah. I don't know how I came about the name. It's just been bugging me lately.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get more answers as we move along.
So should I draft those ship's orders, Lord Captain, too?
Yes, proceed.
Yep,
I
okay.
don't know.
He just turns and leaves.
Okay.
Nero, one moment.
He does not return. Just keeps going.
I catch up to him. It's like, perhaps I could help you get out of your slump by kicking your ass in a spa. Would you? Is that something you would like?
So Nero stops walking and takes another slurp and turns to look at you and says, It's not a slump. Surviving and ass kicking is the thing that I'm good at. Surviving is my critical and key skill. I was hoping that I would be good enough to take a Deathwatch Space Marine in a one-on-one fight, but I was not. Even with the God Emperor and the Omniscience guiding me towards victory, it was a failure. You know what the chances of a Deathwatch Space Marine's gun jamming are? Nearly impossible. It just doesn't happen. And it did. A man died.
One might argue that his heresy was the reason why his gun jammed.
Yes. Well, I prefer to think that through the Omniscience, the God Emperor extended his protection to this vessel once again. The Lord Captain is bound to do great things, but my capacity to carry out victory on his behalf has been called into question repeatedly.
I would say that you are lacking in certain areas. That is definitely should have been made evident to you during your recent ass kicking. I will say that much.
My new plan is to talk less and glower, look sullen, threaten people more often.
If you were capable of causing greater harm in a closer radius to yourself, you might have overcome this obstacle with greater ease, rather than having most of your bodily fluids spilled in the process.
Nero just sips from his mug and says, "Yes, I'm working on a work order for the Lord Captain." He gestures towards the burning blade and says, "You know, I had actually asked the Lord Captain for that, but he gave it to you."
This is a relic of my order. Of course he would give it to me.
Nero just slurps again. I don't think people take the ship's security quite as seriously as I would hope. We always seem to be just one step unsecure enough. We cannot keep relying on the God Emperor to save us every single time, to protect us from accidentally killing a friendly dreadnought, to protect us from not killing another space marine, to help us kill a heretical Deathwatch marine. The God Emperor cannot keep intervening for us. I'm sure there are many other places that his wisdom and intervention is required.
Oh, what if I told you the God Emperor puts hardships in front of you to temper you?
I'm feeling pretty tempered. In fact, my temper is growing right now.
A different type of tempering, one that makes you harder and more resilient.
Nero slurps at his coffee. Sorry, I think it's called recaf.
You can only grow if you put yourself in front of obstacles that require immense training and foresight to overcome. Would you agree? Would you say that your expertise in your weapons have come because you simply read a book or picked it up and were perfect at the weapon?
Nero just kind of nods and was like, I actually was incredibly skilled just to begin with, ever since I was a child. I've become better lately.
Since I have joined this crew, I have solved your problems of you requiring medical aid in every single piece of combat that I've seen you fight in.
That's true. I'm used to fighting with a lot more people in front of me to take the hits. Everyone just keeps dying so that I can live.
Well, perhaps it is time to change
Good
that
old
mindset.
Norval died in that ambush. Stabbed in the back. Shaggy, they called him because of his hairstyle.
I forgot about that.
2 days from retirement.
2 days from being promoted. From guardsman third class to guardsman first class.
His gravestone says Zoinks on it. Yeah, it's like, well, give us some thought, Nero. Perhaps your moniker of the bullet will change to the bullet and sword. We'll see.
Bullet is my last name, so it's not going to
Your
change.
name is very confusing.
My moniker
I will
is
say that.
Nero the Blade because I would always try to
Wait.
convince Imperial Navy captains that we should crash our ship at high speed into other ships to split them in half. Now that I think about it, that might be why I was transferred out of the Imperial Navy to Angelique Cowles' command.
Just use a hyperjump next time. That makes the most sense.
That's ridiculous. That would never work.
Well, I will be sparring. You just simply need to call me and I will teach you what I know.
My capacity for the blade is limited. I prefer to shoot things.
Now, when I'm putting your stomach back inside of yourself again for the third time, we'll have this conversation likely once more.
I appreciate that. Certainly my recovery times after horrendous injuries have been lessened with you around. I will say this though, Sister Dawn, most of the time when I am being attended to by sororitas, they tend to be much more amenable to my particular charms. They're just looking for that kind of gruff father figure, distant, cold.
Are you suggesting that the Order of Sororitas has daddy problems?
Nero just sips from his coffee and walks away. As he's walking
Very
away,
close to Heresy.
he says, "Not all of them, just the Hospitalers."
That is my order, she says as she walks in the other direction.
All right, so
And have daddy problems.
does anyone else want to have any player triggered scenes before I do any? I've got one more GM triggered scene, but
Okay.
anyone want to do anything else in the warp before we reach Footfall?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So actually, well, when the ship comes out of the warp, before it actually makes it's got to do a sort of few-hour journey toward Footfall itself.
Mm-hmm.
Riani comes to see Pierre, wherever he's, either on the bridge or in his chambers. She obviously looks like ragged from having been navigating the ship. So she basically, you do have more than one navigator on the ship because they can't stay awake for months at a time sometimes. But literally, the navigator prime does the majority of the navigating. So she pretty much gets like a 4-hour sleep break in every 24 hours. The rest of the time she's actually navigating. So there's like a secondary navigator that takes on that extra sort of that 4-hour shift while the primary one sleeps. So yeah, she looks pretty ragged she's been like, up for roughly 6 days straight, with only 4 hours of sleep a day. But she comes to Pierre. Lord Captain, do you have a moment before I go for a long sleep?
Of course.
Could we maybe talk privately? I'm assuming it's on the bridge because you were probably on the bridge when you were in Axion system. All right. So you step into your primary.
Okay.
2 things I wanted to raise before I settled in. One was during that transit, there was something came to the ship, some sort of. I thought it's similar to when like an astropathic communication is received by the ship, although it's hard to do so in the warp. There was some sort of psychic emanation of strength to the ship from elsewhere. I couldn't pin it down to where exactly on the ship it went while I was navigating, but it seems like somebody on the ship may have received some form of psychic communication. I did send a message to the astropaths to ask if they'd received something, and they hadn't. Whatever it was strong enough to overcome the Geller field without damaging it.
Yes, that's very concerning. Any idea what general area it hit, or just know that?
No, it was sent to the ship. It tasted like lava.
Lava?
Like that was that sort of burning rock. I mean, I know it sounds hard to you. Like trust me that I've never actually tasted lava myself. It's just the way that the warp is represented to each of us is different, and that's the best way I can describe it. Is that the communication tasted like lava.
Sounds chaosy, but okay.
And the second thing is, I just wanted to say that I'm concerned about Nero. He doesn't seem to be himself. I fully expected another awkward dinner invitation, and it seems to have gone a long while. Not that I am, don't take this as being me being needy. Just that he generally seems out of sorts.
Yes, he does like to intimidate you on occasion. Has it been a while since he has?
It's been, as I said, it's been inordinately long. I was surprised I didn't hear from him before we departed.
Well, he's taking the previous fight a little hard, as you can imagine. Life goal was to be a space marine, found out that he wasn't quite able to kill one. Granted, it wasn't really on his terms, so...
He's more complex than he seems, Lord Captain. Well, more complex than people give him credit for.
Yes, each man has their own pride. Unfortunately for him, he's got shattered along with his chest in a large sealed helmet crater.
Very well. Well, I need to go and rest. I'll leave you to the ship.
Absolutely.
Sorry, guys. I just need 1 minute just to deal with a child. So talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute.
You have a child? That's confusing. Didn't know this.
Yes, it's Nero.
Wow. Man, the Nero shit talking this episode is so real.
Yeah, you went from being like the man's man on the ship to being like...
Everyone's like, oh, Nero hasn't tortured me lately. I'm worried about him. Oh, Nero didn't beat a Death Watch Space Marine who ambushed him in a one-on-one fight. I guess maybe he's not as good as he thought he was.
The fucking meme of the guy like pointing to a butterfly and being like, is this depression? And it's like a picture of Nero's face.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry. Just a child. My wife has gone to the shop, so he's like, "Can I have screen time?" We normally shouldn't have screen time because Mummy's not here. So
that's a
the
good
correct
try.
answer to that is always ask your mother. Every time.
Yeah, usually I'm pretty good with letting him do stuff he shouldn't do, but she's only gone for 10 minutes, so he'll get caught if he does that. That's what I told him. All right, so the ship. So I'm going to kind of paraphrase this bit, unless you want to play it out more specifically. But effectively, when the ship arrives at Footfall to sort of be given like a berth to be able to land, you get given the runaround for a long time. Like just the port authorities is just. The ship that the berth you've been allocated to, there's a ship parked there. They're completing their loading. They'll be gone in no time. Oh, it's taking a bit longer than we thought. Please stand by a bit longer. We'll give you another berth. Oh no, it turns out that berth's in for maintenance right now. We'll put you back to the first berth. Oh, but another ship came through while you weren't assigned to that berth, and now we're going to wait to clear them. So everything that happens, let me say, is legal, but it is clear that you have been deliberately delayed. Effectively, it's like union tactics have been employed to just harass you a little bit, and so you probably waste the best part of about 10 hours. Just
I would
going
like
through.
to, like, after a couple hours, I'd like to speak to their manager and get my hair in.
Do we have any Karens on board? All Karens, please report to.
I'm gonna put on my Karen wig here in a second.
And I said everything. You can speak to managers, and they'll apologize profusely and guarantee and promise to get you something sorted out. It just takes, and eventually it does get sorted out. Eventually, it's just you do feel like you have been targeted and harassed in an entirely legal yet annoying way.
It must be for letting Nero kill all those guys.
Nero shows up on the bridge, in his full combat armor, with his shoulder-mounted gun ready to go. And he looks a little bit better than normal, and he says, Lord Captain, I've heard the situation. I'd appreciate it if you would allow me to solve this problem for you.
I have a slight feeling that letting you solve a problem last time is what's causing this problem at the moment.
I believe that my previous solution stands, and that by altering the way that they are perceiving their reality, they will understand my solution as a final one.
I think I'd much rather just speak with the port. Not manager. Is it a captain of the port?
No, it's the dockmaster, Lord Captain.
Dockmaster?
Yes. I would, again, strongly caution you from getting involved in matters that are so far beneath your feet. You have subordinates to solve these kind of issues for you, so that you need not get your hands covered in bolter, dust from firing the bolter. Not that I'm going to kill anyone in the immediate future.
I don't know if intimidation tactic would work at this moment.
Again, Lord Captain, I don't believe intimidation will be necessary. I think it's just a matter of shifting their perceptions as to the current situation. But as you know, murdering everyone in sight has worked quite well for this crew so far. Can you name one time that it has not worked out at a premium level? Again, I believe that this problem can be solved. It is a solvable... We have several solutions present, which I am willing to implement. And eager.
Yes, I think that's the issue at the moment, is what I'm getting at. We can speak with two of them together. How about that?
What's our game plan when we go in there? My plan is to indicate to them that they would not... that these criminal lords for whom they mourn for, their replacements would not have their position were it not for my actions, and that the Imperium suffers them only so far as they commit very serious crimes.
How about this? We play good arbitres, bad arbitres. You be the bad, I'll be the good.
Nero is so confused. He goes, there are only good arbitres, sir.
Okay. Not immediately kill arbitres, then immediately kill arbitres.
I'm still
I'll let
confused,
you know
sir.
when to kill.
Yeah, Nero's just like, I don't know. Have you ever met an arbitres before, Lord Captain? I think you've been seeing.
I don't know if I have.
You should. I will put on a theatrical performance next week, involving my favorite hits from when I've watched arbitres disembowel people. We'll use real blood on the stage. It'll be great.
Okay, I'll be negotiator. You can be the arbitres. They'll solve the problem after.
Understood,
if
sir.
Need be. Okay.
I'll let you do the talking up till that fails, which it won't fail because you're the Lord Captain and you're incredible.
Thank you.
I'll be waiting in the shuttle, sir.
Well, you can just tag along.
Okay.
You'll be there for the needed push if necessary. I'll give you a signal if it is. Go ahead, James.
I was going to say, so the only other rogue trader ship which is currently in port right now is, I'll find the name again, the Implacable Flame of the Chorda dynasty.
Okay.
I'd like to try to gather information before we dock about the following rogue traders. The fate of Janko Scourge, since last time we heard he was being wrecked by some Eldari. Yep. And Rogue Trader Bastille, who I dropped a dime on because he's out here doing some chaos heretic-y warp shit.
Yep. So because you reported the fact that he was dealing with the 13th location of 13th station, and you referred that to, was it to Shrain you told that?
Yes. Yeah, and I also told what's her name.
Oh, Pendergast.
Yep, I told them both. Yep. I'm dropping that time everywhere.
Okay. No worries.
I don't give a fuck about that fool. I'm going to fall over and die.
Okay. So when you're at the station, I'll take an inquiry roll from you, but I'll give you a bonus.
Fuck! God damn it!
I'll do it.
No. Okay, I got the solution. I go to the Master of Whispers and say, I need information about these two rogue traders.
He's only at a skill level 30, though.
That's better than me.
I can do it.
I would
68.
never ask my boss to go do my job for me. Yeah, Nero definitely goes to the Master of Whispers for these very specific people.
Okay.
And just orders them. He literally just like, do it or else.
Okay. No worries.
I threaten you before you teleport behind me. Stab me in the liver.
That's fine. He'll survive once again.
Okay, so for the most part, then let's make a roll for. So we're going to plus 20. So roll under 50 for me, Arthur, to see how well the ship does in terms of finding this information.
How about an 8? How's that
8,
for you?
nice.
How's that spicy hot?
That's on a D10? Oh, no.
100,
Sorry, I'm
yeah.
reading that.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. So first off, all of the rogue traders that accepted the visitation, except for Pierre, have not yet returned to Footfall.
Interesting.
So so that includes Garrett, Armelin, Bastille, Blitz, Feckwood, Lee, and Scourge. From memory, I have to double check those ones. But I think that's
understood. So
Yeah,
there's
so
no news about any of them.
So okay, what there is news about is that there's certainly with the multiple degree success there, certainly there is information that he can pick up that when Bastille does return to
Scintilla.
Port Wanda, not Footfall.
Wonder. Yeah.
Port Wanda. That there is so first off, his other ship, the Aberrant, is currently under like a not a quarantine, like an interdiction at Port Wanda, and that when he returns to Port Wanda with the Colossus, that there is like an order to sort of like interdict his ship until he can respond to matters being raised by the Navy and the Inquisition.
Nero just kind of smiles.
That's the one that was attacked by Eldar?
No, this is the other one.
Scourge.
This is the one that sold the location of your mom's secret 13th station. No, Janko Scourge was attacked by Eldar, and we never heard from him again.
Yeah, but you know that he survived that battle. He wasn't killed in that battle as such. Like he still escaped to the warp, but
yeah, but he's at the top of my person who is a threat to the Cowles lineage.
Okay.
Miriam is now like number 4 or 5. It's pretty tough. Dark Angels is now number 2.
I would try to ask in as to the reason why I've been overwhelmingly delayed as far as my entrance in.
So who would you want to ask that to?
Nero arranges for a meeting with the Dockmaster.
Yeah.
All right. No worries. So once you go ahead.
I say though we might want to hold that until we go to break. So I was thinking we would do any sort of like acquisition rolls first.
Oh, that's a good point. Purchases. Sure. Yep. Do we have a list of things we want to buy?
I have a list of things Nero needs to buy.
Yes. I was going to get a refractor field for Nero. Another set of light power armor. A set for Dawn. And then
I would prefer the jump pack at this point, I think.
You want the jump pack instead?
Mm-hmm.
Did you take piloting?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Okay, well then a jump pack for Dawn, and then I'll get an shoot for an Inferno Pistol. Have a Mars pattern Inferno Pistol, which is extremely
okay.
rare.
No worries. So let's start with the stuff in the main book first, because I've got the main book open right now. So an Inferno Pistol, unless you've already got the
Mars pattern is rogue trade. Yeah, so it is the main book.
Is very rare. So that is a -20. You only want one, which brings up to a +10. Where do you stand on the quality?
Just getting it just good just makes it less likely to jam or whatever.
Gives it the reliable trait.
I'd just get standard then.
Yeah, normal quality. Okay, so that would put you on a 58 plus your commerce test.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I will fate roll that.
Wow. It's 100 for those watching at home that are listening and not watching.
Well, Jesus
wow.
Christ.
Is that what, like a 98? Yep, it's a 98. Incredible.
All right, getting those out of the way. So it's...
Okay, that brings you down to a 54.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, you came across a particularly canny negotiator.
I like this guy. I might find...
Playing my game. I like him.
He's fast.
How is a man his size so nimble?
I got it.
You got it. Okay, all right. So now that will be
paid more than I wanted.
Okay, very rare. That will be 1 week until that's available.
That sounds fine.
Yep.
I would say just have it sent to Regina 4 then.
Okay, cool. Put it on a courier.
Pretty much all this to be sent to Regina 4.
UPS.
Yeah, I want to keep a contact for that guy.
Got the guy that fleeced me. Okay, a jump pack is rare.
You just
which
wake
is
up dead one day.
-10, and is anyone one, so that brings up to +20, and the quality I think has no bearing on a jump pack unless it's relates to how long fuel lasts for. No, there's no benefit to quality. So that would just be 68 base plus your commerce test.
Well, it might be less. Oh, there we go. Oh, damn.
There you go. Nice. So plus another 8, so 76.
Under 76. Wow. Okay.
There it is. Right. That's what I think commerce rolls normally look like.
Okay. Sorry, Dawn. There'll be more opportunities. And then for Nero, the refractor field, which is from Into the Storm. So let's open up Into the Storm.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do the commerce roll just to
get
that out of the way. 7.3 degrees of success.
That's low.
Okay, wow. So they're very rare. Now quality matters with a force field. So basically,
he was wanting good quality.
Good quality. Okay, so that brings it back down to a 48 plus your 7 degrees gives another 14, so 62.
Got it.
There you go.
All right, there's all those.
Yeah, that'll also be a week. So.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So.
Now, what does this thing look like? What am I now possibly wearing in the future?
So a refractor field most commonly is in the form of a gorget. So if you got Into the Storm, if you look on page 131, there's actually a picture of a refractor field. So in that case, it's a gorget with an aquila on it and some wiring circuitry on it.
I would like mine to be a necklace with a old-timey flip open timepiece on a gold chain.
Okay. It's probably gonna be a little bit bulkier than that. It's more than just jewelry in any case.
Understood. Yeah. No. It can be a full alarm clock with 2 little, the old style ringers on the outside of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So for Nero wrap. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, he's multicultural, right? It also needs to be big enough to fit on the outside of his power armor, I guess. So
yeah.
When that arrives, not at any time soon. Yeah, we ready to go on break?
Yep.
Look, we'll be back for the second half soon. Friends at home, please remember, we have that open camera spot over there. I pointed the correct direction, but my finger is so far off screen. Over there, looking for other streamers and entertainers who might be interested in joining the show. If you know one or are
Is that
one,
right? Am I right?
yes,
Is that the correct way?
Yep,
There
you're
we go.
pointing the correct way. Let me know. That's it. We'll be back for the second half in about 8 minutes. Stick around or don't.